Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Talking Real Estate with Champions Real Estate Team here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate Company. So every Wednesday we get together around over lunch hour and just kind of talk about what's going on in the real estate market over the last week. So let's jump right into it and pull up our little graphic we have here every week. So basically is what we had for this last week since October 7th until today, October 14th. Basically we had 406 new listings go active. We had 353 new contracts written, basically homes that went pending and under contract. And then we had 453 homes that sold. So basically what that kind of means to everybody in the real estate market, basically sold homes is basically what happened over the last 60 days, what the market was doing 60 days ago. Last week, we had 629 sold homes in that week prior to. So what that tells us, we dropped about another 150 homes are being sold. So what happened, 60 days, 30, 45, 60 days ago was basically Labor Day. So we kind of take a look at that. Basically, that kind of usually in a normal market, without the COVID and the activity and stuff, typically after school starts settling in, we kind of just see traditionally the market slows down a little bit. People are still buying and selling, but that's kind of as we see why we had such a low number on the sold homes. Contracts written, the week prior was about 360. So we still have the same buyer activity that is out there, buyers out there looking to get those homes, as they come on the market. Our number of new listings that came on basically dropped about 50 from the week prior to. So what that kind of tells me is that, as we're going into the fall months and even into the winter, right now, as homes that are going on the market now, if you think 60 days out from now, which is what we're kind of seeing on a timeline for new homes to close, with appraisal kind of getting backlogged a little bit with refinances and things of that sort, is we're coming into the holiday season. So people are like, do we want to get in before Christmas? Do we want to get in before Thanksgiving? In that aspect of it. So we'll jump out of here. I'll kind of go in a larger perspective and share our trend graphics reports. Is kind of more for those analytical numbers folks out there, kind of give you a taste of that. So looking at the actual numbers, from a big picture standpoint of it, as we see here, from the activity of the number of homes on the market, right now we're sitting about 1,995, and this time last year we're at 3,700. So we're about 47% less homes on the market than we had this time last year. But you see the activity of sold homes and pending homes are basically up from last year. So what that's telling me, again, is that basically as homes are coming on the market, they're going off just as fast. So we may not have the inventory and numbers of homes to look at, but those buyers and sellers that are out there as those homes are coming on the market, basically that's just jumping it up real quick from those number of pending homes. I know here at Berkshire Hathaway, we kind of had our largest month in September as far as number of homes being under contract and written. I know here at Champions Real Estate Team, our listings basically that are going active are selling relatively quick. And that's one of those things too, when we take a look at pricing the homes, as we look at it, yes, it is a seller's market and sellers may, not necessarily try to get greedy, but our goal is to maximize, the amount of money that you're making on the sale of that house. And so what we're seeing is that some sellers out there on the market are overpricing their listings. And then we're seeing a price reduction, within a week. And we tell our sellers is that you're going to know within about the first, 48 hours or 72 hours, whether whether we've priced the home properly in that marketplace out there. So sorry, Russ Williams is joining us here, just getting him logged in. So what I'm kind of saying is that, when we talk to our sellers is, do we want to list the house for a offer or do we want to list the house for multiple offers? So that's just kind of indicative of what we're looking at in the marketplace is that some of those sellers are trying to, well, let's try it up here. Well, buyers out there are very educated. And when we're working with our buyers, we know what 250 gets them. We know what 350 gets them, in that price point. And so that's one of those things that we look at is that we want to make sure that our sellers are educated, our buyers are educated, and ultimately they're getting a fair price for the home on what the market is allowing for those purchase prices. And then an appraiser will come in and essentially tell us if they've maybe paid the bank thinks they've paid a little too much for the house. So that's kind of a safety catch there as well. So as we kind of take a look at it, so going back to kind of the numbers here, from this, looking in October, we're still up just a little bit as far as our pending numbers going through that process of it. But yeah, so I mean, we're seeing less homes on the market, but we're also seeing those homes get sold and the number of contracts written are higher than what we had last year. So what that's telling me is that houses are moving quicker. The volume is still there. The number of houses being sold is still obviously greater than last year. So everyone's like, oh my gosh, the market, but there's nothing out there. The market's, it's stalling. Well, not necessarily. It's just, you got to be ready, willing, and able to act, as a buyer when those homes come up, because they may not be, as sellers, if we're pricing them appropriately, and maximizing what you're going to get for that home. And ultimately that's our goal, from a selling side, and then from a buying side is educating you through that process and making sure that we're not overpaying for those houses out there at a fair price. So that's what we're kind of looking at here, going through. I know Russ just jumped on with us, so we'll take a second and kind of touch base with him as far as what the mortgage industry's been doing over this last week. So I know, Russ, you're muted right now, so unmute and then we'll rock it out.
Yeah, it seems like we're playing a repeat every week. Mortgage rates are staying still at all-time lows. Again, that's a factor of the Federal Reserve Bank pumping billions of dollars every week into the mortgage bond market. I anticipate we'll be here at least for the foreseeable short term, at least past November 3rd. But your long-term fixed rates are hovering at or below 3%, which is all-time records. Shorter terms are a little bit better than that. There's still first-time home buyer money out there as well. And we are starting to see a little bit of a thawing in some of the what we would call non-conforming type loans, meaning your jumbo loans, maybe portfolio and house loans. We're starting to see a little bit of softening there as COVID obviously is still a concern, but as COVID maybe is not panicking people quite as much as it had in the past. Obviously, we don't know what the fall will bring with people getting sick, but for the time being, if you're thinking of buying a house and using financing, there is no better time than what we have right now.
Yeah. I know. We literally just repeat back and forth on it. Are we getting feedback on here?
A little bit. Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like we're on the repeat cycle. Every week we're kind of talking about how great rates are, and they are. And I think, for the foreseeable future, like we've discussed before, is that they're going to kind of stay in that range, kind of even regardless of what the elections kind of tell us in that regards. I mean, because the feds are basically buying up the mortgages like we've touched on in the past, and they're kind of controlling that to help that inflation aspect of it. But yeah, I mean, so if we can help you out here, Champions Real Estate Team, whether buying or selling, we'd love to help you. And I'll show you kind of just our website. So you can jump on there and as you see here, as we get down, so you can search any of the active homes on the market. You can kind of jump on here, get a home valuation, kind of a rough idea what your house is worth. To get an actual accurate number, give us a holler here at Champions Real Estate Team. We can kind of go over that for you and pull up the actual comparables. Also, we have on here is our buyer's guide and our seller's guide. So you can click on that, download that, or just read it on your phone, print it off if you want to. But that'll kind of give you some good steps on what's going, when you're buying a house, when you're selling a house, through that aspect of it. So, but there's also a lot of other information. You kind of come through houses, all the active homes on there. So, but once again, appreciate you jumping on here. Russ, thank you again for joining us. Yeah, we'll be on here again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And I look forward to hear from you. So if you have any questions, give me a holler. My number's right here, 402-672-7670, or jump on our website at championsrealestateteam.com. And or on our Facebook page, shoot us a message. If you have any lending questions, refinance questions, Russ is a great resource on there to basically get you any information. He does teach the real estate finance class at my dad's real estate school, results coaching school of real estate. So he's very knowledgeable on all the different products that are out there. So you got someone that's very well versed there. So, Russ, anything to add?
I think that covers it for this week. For those of you that are holding off and waiting, things are going to get more expensive, in my opinion, whether it be houses and interest rates. We don't know when that will be, but they will be more expensive by now.
Yep. Awesome. Well, appreciate it, and take care and have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the fall weather. I think it's going to hopefully get a little cooler out, and it's kind of nice to be out in the fire pits if you can and all that good stuff. So take care, and appreciate you stopping by.